Trimagasi is the best character in the platform movies. This elderly man is surrounded by mystery, but his influence has been crucial in the series. Moreover, Trimagasi himself embodies many of humanity's sins. That's why today on Charlietales, I want to analyze the character, his motivations, origins, and how he teaches us about human reality. Ready? Let's go. Trimagasi is a character created for the 2019 film, The Platform. He appears as a prisoner accompanying the protagonist, Goring. Initially, Trimagasi acts as a guide for both Goring and us. He explains what the platform is, how it works, and gives us some important advice. Perhaps the most important line he delivers is this: "Don't talk to the people below, because they're below, and the ones above won't answer because they're above, obviously." This sentence is simple, but encapsulates the entire mechanism of the platform. The people below are inferior to us, so there's no point in paying attention to them, and the people above are superior, so they're not interested in our problems. This summarizes the entire reality of human society. In real life, the powerful are above, and the marginalized below. Those above aren't concerned with the problems of those below, and those below long to reach a higher level someday. In just one sentence, Trimagasi perfectly sums up what the platform and human reality mean. Now let's talk about the character's origins. What do we know about Trimagasi's past? In the 2019 film, he told us he was living a normal life, but one day, in a fit of rage, he threw his television out the window and accidentally killed an illegal immigrant. That's why he was sent to the platform. Trimagasi is a character who is a victim of circumstances. He never intended to kill anyone, but bad luck played against him, and that's why he's imprisoned. Of course, we can't say he's an innocent old man either. From the beginning, he had a certain darkness. That's why when he was offered the chance to bring an object to the platform, he chose a knife. Trimagasi already knew he would need protection here, and his knife would give him an advantage. The origin of the knife also hides a social critique. Trimagasi says he was watching TV at home when an ad came on for an amazing knife sharpener that could sharpen anything. Trimagasi wasn't interested, but the advertisement was so good that he ended up buying it. Everything seemed fine, but then came the twist. The next day, the same company aired an ad for a miraculous knife that never loses its edge, the Samurai Plus. This annoyed Trimagasi so much that he threw his TV out the window. If we analyze this, it seems like a joke, a cruel twist of fate, but it also hides a lot of social critique. Trimagasi was a normal man, but was tempted by the traps of consumerism. He didn't need a sharpener, but bought it because they sold it well. And the next day, they revealed that he didn't need the sharpener at all. He could have bought the knife instead, which would have been better. It's as if they were mocking him. As they said in Fight Club, advertising makes us want cars and clothes, jobs we hate to buy crap we don't need. Trimagasi's story with the knife represents this societal deception. Trimagasi's character begins as a comedy, a joke of fate, and in general, this is the character's foundation, a man who changes due to life circumstances. Now let's talk a bit about Trimagasi's personality. The character shows us two different facets, one in each movie. In the Platform 1, he is presented as calm and rational, but also brutal and ruthless. He is capable of killing when necessary, only attacking when he must to survive. In the first movie, there is a defining moment when Goring and Trimagasi wake up on level 171. Here, no food arrives, so Trimagasi decides to tie up Goring. This serves two purposes. First, to ensure Goring doesn't dare to attack him when hunger becomes unbearable. And second, to subdue Goring so he can take some of his flesh for both of them to eat. At this point in the story, Trimagasi seems to turn into a villain. But if we coldly analyze his actions, we can understand his point. If he hadn't tied up Goring, he would lose all control. Goring is young and strong, so he could kill him without trouble. Hunger leads to madness. Trimagasi says he's seen it before, so we understand that in the past, he's had to fight a companion for food. Trimagasi is essentially forced to subdue Goring for his own safety. Of course, we're all on Goring's side because he's the protagonist, but Trimagasi's point is valid. The movie tries to connect Trimagasi with a real-world person. I ask you, if you were in Trimagasi's place, would you have done the same? Or would you simply have trusted that Goring wouldn't turn against you? Trimagasi adds something else. He says it's not his fault for what he's about to do. It's those above who force him. Trimagasi says there are 340 people responsible before him. He sees himself as a victim of circumstances. And to a certain extent, that's true. He didn't enter the platform intending to commit crimes. In his real life, he'd probably never eat another person. But the extreme circumstance forces him to act this way. This can easily be extrapolated to society. Many of us are very clear in saying we would never steal or kill. But reality is different. When the right circumstances arise, it's feasible that a good person can do bad things. It happens all the time. The movie handled Trimagasi subtly, so we can understand his actions. Even at the end of the story, we see how Trimagasi welcomes Goring when he dies, and they reunite on good terms. There doesn't seem to be resentment. Trimagasi is not a villain. He never was. He's just a man forced to kill by circumstance. But this version of Trimagasi is vastly different from the platform too. In this new movie, we see a Trimagasi who has just entered the platform. He's a rookie facing hell, yet he's infinitely more brutal than the 2019 version. Honestly, I feel the writing fails a bit in this movie because it shows a Trimagasi too different compared to the original film. In Perempuan's story, Trimagasi is presented as someone ruthless, capable of killing without thinking. When Perempuan starts her revolution, Trimagasi is one of the most violent and isn't afraid to attack with his knife. We even reach an exaggerated point where Trimagasi suggests everyone descend to eat Dagan Bobby's followers. This man is insane. It clashes quite a bit with the version we see in Goring's story. The new movie completely changes our perception of Trimagasi. Before, he seemed like a victim of circumstances. He was a man who only killed when he had no choice. But the Platform 2 changes that. It makes it clear that Trimagasi was always someone dark and bloodthirsty. There was always evil inside him, but only in the Platform could he bring it to the surface. All this could be explained by the fact that in this movie, Trimagasi is a rookie. It's almost his first month on the Platform, whereas in Goring's story, 9 months have passed. By then, Trimagasi becomes more cerebral, with more strategy, and doesn't show his violence so gratuitously. The Trimagasi we see with Perempuan is his true self, and when he arrives with Goring, 9 months have passed. He's calmed down because he's now more strategic. He knows his advantage isn't in physical strength, but in manipulation. Here I've connected both versions of Trimagasi to give his change some sense, but the truth is that it was never intended to have two movies. The Trimagasi we saw with Goring was the true version of the character, but Trimagasi proved too popular, so they had to bring him back for the sequel. This resulted in his new personality, somewhat contradicting his original version. In conclusion, Trimagasi is an incredible character, undoubtedly the best in the Platform movies. He represents several critical aspects of human reality. He's charismatic, interesting, and hides many secrets. I hope to see more of him in the future. But anyway, that's all for today. If you liked the video, you would help me a lot by leaving a like. That would be legendary. Also remember to subscribe because I'll be uploading more videos about your favorite movies. Thanks for listening. My name is Charlie, and I'll see you in the future.